Assalamualaikum everyone, welcome back to CSE 220 data structures. Today we're going to be dealing with circular arrays inshallah, and before we start that I want to make sure that everybody knows what circular arrays indicate. Say this is a linear array and the numbers you see like 0 to 5 are the index numbers. So let's put some values. For example, I'm putting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. So start. The start point is the place from where the array has begun, and for linear array it is always 0. Now remember that start is not an installed value. That means it's nothing in the array class. It is something we assume ourselves. And before anything, circular array, actually there is nothing called circular array in Java. We make it in our way. So these are some important things you need to remember. And the size of this array is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If there was a null over here, what's that I doing here? Then you would say the size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5. It's different than the length. The length is still 6. Whether the whole array is null or there is one null, the length is 6. It will not change. But the size actually indicates that how many elements are there. So the size would be 5. Now, what is a circular array? A circular array, imagine a circle, starts from a point and then meets up at that point. So if I draw a circle from here, let me see, let's try some drawing. If I draw a circle from here, then it should come back over here. That is over here. So this is the starting point. And as it rolls by, it comes back to this place. So if I start from 3, then it is supposed to come back at 2. So if the start is 3, then it will end at 2. But what about this? How will you go to 2? You would go from 3, 4, 5 and then start again from 0, 1, 2. That's how it works. So that's exactly how circular array works. So let's start from 3. So the array, what's the first value in the linear array? 10. So 10 and it's 20 and then it's 30 and then it's 40, 50, and for now it's null. So the start would be 3 and the size would remain the same. This is the primary concept of circular array. So you get the start from the index, that's the point from where the array starts. So that is why it is called circular, because it doesn't start from 0 and then the array returns back from the value, and it is like a circle which starts from 3 and then comes back to 3 again through 2. So that is what a circular array is. So that's all for understanding, but if you still have questions, let me know. Now let's come back to the main deal. So circular array, what we have here is a class which has a start, a size. I just showed you what start and size is, and of course the array itself. So here's the linear version of it in the public static main class, and we have a you don't know what a constructor is, but you know what a constructor is. This is not 111. So we have a constructor, so where we are receiving an array, the start and the size, which will be provided by the user. So we put the start, we set the values, the set method work. We set the values and for the array we install a new array and then input all the values of the linear array in the circular array with this formula. So you start from 0, which is the linear thing, and s is the real start for the circular array, for example 3. So when the array length reaches the final index, for example if it was for the array I drew, starting from 3 it will reach 5 and 6 eventually. So when it reaches 6, this mod.sir.length will make it 0 again, because if you do this, when it reaches 6 mod 6, it will be 0, right? So that's the idea. And then if it's 7, then it will be 1, and if it's 8, then it will be 2. That's the idea. So that's, and once, sorry, it will be I, and once I reaches the limit, that means 6, then the length array will stop, otherwise it will go on forever. So that's the constructor part. And now we're going to do one of this printing, and you will be doing the rest. So take a good guess, how are we going to print it? Of course it will be very similar to linear array. So let's start with a for loop. Int, I'm taking z. Now we won't start from 0, we will have to start from start of the circular array. What's the next thing? We need to set up the limit. So for a linear array it was simply the length, but now that won't do. So we need to dig the value so that it reaches start plus until I reach my limits. So it will go on until the size is reached. Now if you just provide the size, for example the size of my array was 5, if you provide the size 5 and then the z starts from 3, then 1, 4, 5, only 2 values will be printed. That won't do. So that's why we need to add the start as well. I think you understand that. Let me explain over here. So your start is from 3 and your size, assuming my array, okay, let's think about this one. Start is from 3, okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3 here, and the size is almost 8, so size is 8. So if I just put size, then the problem is 8 minus 3, I will only get 5 values printed. That's why I need to add this 3 with the size, so that when it starts from 3, I also have this additional 3 added and I get all 8 values. This is the idea. I was starting from 3 and I also added 3. Okay, that's why we need to put start plus size. I hope you understand, because this is the main issue of circular array. The start, the size. And finally we need to increment this, so you can just pre-increment or de-increment it, whatever you wish. And I'm doing the pre-increment one just for a change. Put the brackets on, you don't have to anyway, but it's better to do it. Now of course system.out println. Okay, this is a tricky part. Now when it was linear array, we simply put the linear version would be something like this, but it's not so simple over here, right? What do we do here? When it's on Z, it will start from Z, so there is no doubt I need to put Z over here. But there will be a time, since I have added start plus size, there will be a time when Z will reach 7. That means over here. When my index starts from 0 and ends at 7, if Z reaches 8, then I will get a nice error called array index out of bounds. which is an issue, and none of us like that. So to prevent that from happening, I need to mod out the extra value. How do I do that? I mod it out with the length of the circular array, or the array actually. Now what's happening? So when z reaches 7, 8, and then if you mod it with 7, which is the length, which is 8, which is the length, this will become 0, which is the beginning of the array. That means 0, linear beginning of the array. So that's exactly what you need. Once you reach the end, you need to reach, after the end, you need to reach 0. That's exactly how a circular array works. So that is why we do this. So let me just put it here for you so that you can understand. That's the idea. Now we won't be facing any issues on printing, and you can add something you like to make your printing unique. So that's for the print. Now we need to test this, but before that, what's this? We have another one which is called backward print. Let's do these two of them together and then decide. Of course they will be similar, so let's just copy this over here and print this. What do you think will be the difference? The basic change we need to do, of course, is to change these values. So what would be the point where you will start? So you will start from the last value, right? The last index, which is 2 according to my array. So if my start is 3, then my last index, circular last index, is obviously 2. So to get to 2, I need to start from, let me guess. Before I can just write, size minus 1, but you have to understand what is the size we have over here. The size is 8. Oh. Now if I want to reach the last part, I need to change here, and once I get the negative values, I need to put some change over here as well. How do I do that? First, I change, before I explain this, just let me do this. So you have size minus 1 over here. You will not have this, because since we'll be going backward, we need to keep it bigger than 0. And it will be a decrement. So everything is fine now, but just the problem is my values, I need to disrupt the printing and make it a circular one. So to do that, all I have to do is add some changes over here. I need to add the start with the Z. So adding the start from the start of the loop. Now let me just demonstrate. Oops, sorry, what I did. So the first printing will be SOP. It's not a SOP of sum of the, So we have sir, Z will be size minus 1, that is 7, plus start, which is 3. Okay, and then you mod it with the length, which is once again 8. What do you get? Without any doubt, you get 2. And look over here, I mentioned that to reach the last index, I need to go to the index before, so it's 2, and it's 2 over here. So it will be decrementing, and so it will become 1 0 and then it will start from 7. So it's all good. It's all good, but we need to do some checking that if it's working or not. If I can just do the code and go away, right? So to do that, we need to create the object. And we need to send the array start. Let's keep it 3 since we did everything with assuming that, and the size is okay 8. We have a full array. Okay, now as we are ready, what will we do? We'll run the code. Now do you think it's fine? Like in all of my videos I have a good record of getting the yellow line, and I purposely don't like just change it. I fix the error here because everybody will get that yellow lines, you know, the yellow color, and everybody will get errors. The idea is not to become mad or think that you're not good. The idea is to be able to fix it. It's not a credit that, okay, I didn't get any error. Okay, it's fine, you didn't get any errors. But if you get errors, don't think that you're a bad programmer, you know, or a bad learner. The real deal is setting the errors. There will be an error over here. If I just hit the compile, I know there will be an error over here. I can guess one error, and I know one error. So I hope the one I know is the error I'm guessing, and there won't be any further error. But if there are, of course, I'll fix it right away in this video. So let's hit compile. See, there is, and as expected, I've used static values. You see, all the methods are static, so that's a problem. So this is the issue. I cannot do this, so let's remove static from all the methods. That's the first step to fix this error, and the last step as well. Now that we're done, we're gonna try these methods. So c dot print. Oh man, I'm too lazy. Let's just do this. And you know what? Let's use it again. Can't just go there and copy that again. Too much of work. We'll run these methods. So let me check the methods again. Here we are. Yeah, it's good. I think it's better if we remove this. Just to get a better print, you know. Okay, so we're good to go. Now we're gonna try the methods. Oh, no error this time. And look, it's a perfect print. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. And the reverse print is 80, 70, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10. So it's working fine. So this is how you print these methods. Now, printing is important because if you know how to print, then you can almost do anything with. So we're going to do resizing next. We're going to resize using keeping the size changed, start unchanged. It's a very easy one. I'll show you. So we're gonna write the next method now. And it will be resize. It's called resize start unchanged. Let's just name it resized. Okay. So this is my method. So to do the resizing, first thing I need to do is I need to create a new array, because in array you cannot change the size. So I need to create a new array, and then I'll simply put the values there. And there are two ways I can do it. I can create a new array and make it linear. I can create a new array and make it circular. So we'll always be working on how to keep it circular. That means I will keep the start unchanged. So of course we will need to receive something for this. That what is the amount you want to resize it by? Let's do the first task. Like I mentioned, we will create a new array. Object there you go, and you can put the size over here because we want new size to be the size of this array. And then we'll simply do some inputting. And like I told you, if you know how to print, then you can do anything. So we'll need one that will start from 0, another one that will start from the start of the array. Sorry. Okay. And it will go on until the size is reached. Okay, now we need the size over here, so let's just name it n size. And I need to increment my I need to increment my C also. This is how my loop will continue. And what I need to do is simply put the values in this new array I created, so which is n, and I need to start from the start, that is C, and of course I need to keep the length so that I don't get array index out of bounds error. And there I'll just put the circular values using the same strategy. This should do the trick, and after it's done, the circular array should become the new array. I hope they don't show me any yellow colors. Okay, they didn't. Now say we are going to c.resize and send them 10. Oh, we need to print after that also, so to check if it worked. The nulls are not shown, so to get the proof that this is working, we need to do something. Let's put some more values. If I'm able to insert the value, then my resize is working. So what I need to do is I need to put something, let's say the last index, which will be, since my start is 3, then let's put something on 2. Oh, it didn't show up. Okay, how about this? See, worked. So the value of the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, ninth index, that which is the last index, according linear last index was replaced, and it is now 100. So if I am able to get this index, that means definitely my array size has increased. That was the idea. So my resizing is working perfectly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to insert something. We're going to remove as well. We need to do some sorting. There are lots of things to do. And one popular thing you need to do is palindrome check, which you will be facing a lot in Maiden. So there are two types of insert, and I'm going to do one for you and you can do the rest. So let's start the inserting. You do remember that when we are about to insert something, we need to do shifting, right? So keep that in mind. Here is the thing you want to insert, and here is the position. It should be provided by the user, not for me to bother. So there is one thing Samuel sir always tells you to do, that you need to check if you can do the inserting first. If you can't insert, then there could be a method that sir will tell you to resize the array and then insert. Or the option 2 would be that if you cannot insert, then throw an exception. So let's just show a simple exception. That means I'm not going to show an exception, I'm going to print a message, which will happen if, of course, the size becomes the length. I told you that size is equal to the amount of elements. If it's equal to length, that means it's full. If this happens, then I'm lazy, so I need to copy this. Or you can just create an exception and throw it too. So that's all, and else we're going to do the inserting. Now what we need to do is we need to do the shifting, which is the same as linear array, but since this is a circular array, the shifting won't be the same. The idea is the same, but the algorithm isn't the same. First thing we need to do is we need to take a value which will determine the position, and I will remove the position index from the size. So if the position is 7, I will remove 7 from the size and keep that. And there is also a point that I'm going to start from, so int f would be a good name for that. And then we're gonna, the value will be, you can understand this, it's hard to remember these things. What was it again? Yeah, I remember. So the -1 here, as you can understand, it is for maintaining the 0 index, and this is a general, starting point from where we will do the shifting. As you can assume that since we are starting from the position, by removing the position, we are going to do some right shifting. We are not doing left shifting. Now the only work is to get the shifting done. So let's start with a for loop, where as usual int I will start from 0. I should not be more than the n, and we're gonna increment I. Same though. Okay. Now we need to create another place from to where this will be going, so I'll explain it later. Let me just write it. T would be a good name, and it will be adding, we'll be adding one index from the F point where we would start, and there will always be this ser.length mod to maintain the array index out of bounds error. So that's nothing to explain now, it's a must. Put the value in front of you, and then decrement F. If we find that F is less than 0, then F will be changed to the last length, so it will reach the last index. I hope I'm not making any mistake. I hope everything is going fine. I really hope so, because I've been writing a lot of things and I don't feel comfortable right now. And since we're done with the shifting at the end of the term, now we have two values, so we'll just put the we'll just put the element in the desired index. And if you want to maintain it, just increase the size, because since a new element is there, there shouldn't be any empty spaces if the size just has one left. So make sure you do increase the size. Okay, I guess we are good to go, and now I will just explain what I did. First thing is, we made sure that the circular length and the circular length and the size is same. If it is same, then full, you cannot insert. And if it's not same, that means there are some space left, then I took a position. I took three variables. One is just the index size, subtracted the position index from the size so that I can do right shifting, and I took a place where I'm going to start from, so that's the number I'm going to start from and do the shifting from. I did a linear loop instead of doing circular, so which is same to linear, and the n has the index number, so there won't be a chance of getting array index out of bounds since I have subtracted the position over here. So this should work fine, it won't be a problem. And then this is the value, the next index of the F, and we're going to put the values over here, do the right shifting, and then F will be decreasing. I could have also put it here, but let's just do it the way, because if F reaches 0, the circle F must reach the last index. After the shifting is done, we simply put the element in the index, because now there are two similar values, and then we increase the size. Now if you want to do the left shifting, it will almost be the same, as you can guess. We just need to make some few changes, so let's do it together again, because we spend a lot of time if we just check one by one. There won't be any change over here, it's the same idea. Where do you think we need to change? Of course, now we need to go rightwards, so for leftwards we'll do the reverse. We'll not start from the back of position, we'll start from the front of position index, and this will simply be start, because I'm not starting from the back, right? We'll start from start. What else changes do you think? Do you think there will be any changes over here? I don't think so, because we're still going to do that linear looping anyway. However, there will be changes over here. which will simply be the extra index idea that we have. Now we need to do some major changing over here. This thing is not an issue anymore, so we remove this. And let me just do it, then I'll explain. Yeah, I think my changing is complete. Alright people, I really hope that I'm done. Oh wait, because that will be a problem. Array index is a bounce problem, so we need to handle this. There, complete reverse of what we did last time. Okay, now let me do some explaining of the changes I made. If you look at the last one, I already explained that. Now we need to just reverse what we did in the last one. Instead of starting from the left, we started from the right, and then we did the linear loop, which is same, but except this time, since we were going leftwards, we did the leftward shift. The T and F kind of exchanges themselves, and we need to check the T for the index. So if it reaches 0, then we need to change it to the last index. This is the issue, and everything else is actually the same. If you just read it out, you can try it and you can put it to the test. I'm not sure if it's working perfectly, so let me just check it first. Without that, it's no use. So let's insert 100 on position say 9. And of course I need to check if it's working. I hope it will work. Let's see if it works. Oh, it's full. It sure is, because this time we did not resize the array. So let's add some nulls over here. I resized the array to 10 in the last method, so I was assuming that it is 10 indexes, which is not the case. Now it should work. No, and there is 100 over here which we cannot see. So how about you show us? There must be some error with the resizing I did. So see, okay, so I need to check my pins forward. Does this fix the problem? There is one common sense on my head that is running. So if it really is the issue of one index, then I think there is one easy way to solve this. That isn't the issue. Things should work fine after this. I really hope it does, and it did. So the insert method is okay. Now we should try it for the left. Leftward shift. See? So it's working perfectly. Here are the methods. Okay. So I think this is enough for one video. We just have to do removing and palindrome. A little bit of work left, and there's sorting, which is an extra. We'll do this in the next video, inshallah. So until the next time, see ya. Happy surviving. All we need to do is survive.